another video. I'm Stella, and this year I'm attempting a thru hike of the Appalachian Trail, which is very exciting. And I thought I would do a gear video and go through what I'm taking at this point. I think my pack is around like 12 pounds. I'm starting in February, so that's like pretty early. I'm gonna be pretty cold, and so I have at least 2 pounds of cold weather gear, or at least like layers and things that I'm hoping to shed once it warms up a bit. So I went through my gear the other day and I just packed it all in my pack. Not exactly as I always pack it when I'm out on the trail. And by the way, if you're new here, I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail in 2018, and I hiked 1,200 miles of the Continental Divide Trail in 2021 and 2022. And then I've had a few other section hikes on other long trails speckled over the years. So everything that I use, I'm pretty confident in. I'm really happy with like most of my gear choices. I have quite a few items that lasted through the Pacific Crest Trail and onto the CDT, and I'm only now upgrading or replacing. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like open my pack and go through what I have, and then I'm gonna talk about the things I wear. So first of all, I've never been a thru hiker that doesn't have a hip belt. This is the Z-Pack's Sub Nero. It's really small. And it doesn't have a hip belt. So I got this pack last year, and I've never actually taken it out on a thru hike or even an overnight backpacking trip. I've used it for miles and miles and miles, hundreds of miles of day hiking and kind of training. And so I'm honestly a little on the fence. I might not take this one, but at this point, I am planning on trying to make this work. But as you can see, it's pretty full right now, and there's no food in it. So I'll have to get creative, so we'll see. Okay, so like I said, this is the Z-Pack Sub Nero. It comes with a little pad to put right here in between this elastic. But I haven't really found that necessary. The way I pack my pack, I make sure to put like soft things against the back, so that way nothing is like jamming into it. On the outside, I always like to carry my spoon so that I'm never digging through my food bag during lunch and during breaks and during everything. Like, I like to know where it is. It's so much easier if it's just always right on the outside. So this is a Tokes long handle titanium spoon with like a soft mouth part. The texture actually does make a big difference. I really don't like the titanium feel like in my mouth, and so I like this option. Part of me is considering going to a short handle spoon because I never really eat backpacking meals, so I don't really have a need for the long handle. This is the one I've had for a couple years now, so right now this is the one I use, and I like to keep it in a spoon sheath, like a Ziploc bag, or hopefully something smaller that's like more fitted to it, but at this point it's this Ziploc bag. And then also on the outside, I keep my water filter. So my water system is the Sawyer Squeeze, so very classic thru hiker water filtration system. I have never used the Katadyn Be Free, which is the other popular water filter system, but all of the thru hikers that have used it usually end up switching back to the Sawyer Squeeze, so I'm pretty confident in just sticking with what I know, which is this guy. So as far as like collecting water, I do like to use a bladder, and this is the CNOC Outdoors 2-liter water bladder, and then you squeeze it into smart water bottles. So this guy the bladder is usually always dirty, like a dirty water, a place where I collect water. I never put clean water in this bladder. But sometimes I use the bottles, and one of them will be a dirty bottle and one of them will be a clean bottle, so that I don't have to use the bladder. It kind of just like ebbs and flows with like what kind of mood I'm in as far as like my water system. Along with the Sawyer Squeeze, it's important to always bring an extra O-ring, because the one inside that it comes with generally falls out. And it's nice to know you have a backup, because if it falls out, then water spills and you can't actually use the filter. And I also like to bring like an extra water bottle lid, just in case one of those gets lost. And so I usually just keep all of it like this. Sometimes I store the squeeze on top of the bottle, but not always, and then it just goes on the outside somewhere. I guess I'll leave them out, huh? Let's do that so that I make sure I know what I've talked about so far. Okay, the other thing on the outside of my pack is the umbrella. I made it to camp. It's 2:40. I laid out my ground sheet, which I'm so glad I bought, and I am under my umbrella, and I'm just hiding from the sun and the wind. But the wind feels good, but the sun came out and is now baking. This is what I look like. I've had this umbrella since the PCT. I did end up shipping it home. I used it maybe like half the desert, but then I found that it really isn't that functional if it's windy. But I am thinking about starting the AT with it, because I think I will really love it if it's downpouring and not windy. And that's a high possibility with the trees and all the things. So I'm gonna try it out, and I might send it home. And this is, I think it's from 6 Moon Designs, if I remember correctly. So, but a lot of the outdoor brands have an umbrella like this. Okay, so on to the inside. I don't love roll top closures. I like that it compresses it and makes it small, but at the same time, it's like a bit tedious to get in and out of them. They're the best outdoor option for now, so yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so right on top I have my tent. Now on the Pacific Crest Trail, I use the Z-Packs Duplex, and I actually used that for about 1,000 miles on the CDT as well, and it held up. I still have it. It's still in great shape. I had to fix the zipper a couple times, but it's doing pretty well. On the Appalachian Trail, I'm going to take the Z-Packs Soloplex. So this tent is new to me. I used it on the CDT in 2022, which is, I just did a 200-mile section, and it worked so well. It's a one person, it's a bit taller, but it does use the same amount of stakes and guy lines. So I will show you guys how to set that up when I make another video about it. But for now, the Z-Packs Soloplex. I love that it's like this compact too, and it's like so light, and I love it, because my stakes are also in here. And for my stakes I use the MSR Groundhogs, and these are the same ones that I've had like since the Pacific Crest Trail. So they just hold up so well for me, and I really like them. It tends to get a ton of dirt like in this, in this little Ziploc, but then I just roll it all up, zip it, and tuck it into my tent bag. I do use a ground sheet. I started that on the CDT, and I loved having a ground sheet. I'm not going to take the one I had on the CDT, which was a ooh, I forget the material. Here I'm gonna try a piece of polycro, like really, really light plastic that's clear. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to get that. So that's gonna be my ground sheet and like what I will lay, what I'll lay on when I'm in shelters. Okay, so there's the tent. Next I have my warm puffy. So I actually just got this. It's an Arc'teryx Atom synthetic hoodie. And I actually have this exact same jacket as a jacket without a hood. And I've had that since 2013 and it just held up so well. So anyways, I really wanted one with a hood and I thought that this was a good investment. It's not the lightest option on the market, but it is still really light and I know it's gonna last. I like that it's synthetic because there's such a high probability of it raining and getting wet, and that it's better than, I feel more confident with it than I do with down for the Appalachian Trail. And also it's easier to wash and dry in town without like worrying that I'm gonna ruin it. With my down jacket, I do feel like nervous that I'm gonna like mess it up when I wash it. So anyways, this is the Arc'teryx Atom for one of my warm layers. So for my rain jacket, I'm bringing the Arc'teryx Zeta. It's pretty light. Again, it's not the lightest on the market, but this is a rainy trail, so I feel like I want to be prepared to be wet, and we'll see what happens. So there's that. For my rain pants, these are the Enlightened Equipment. I think they're like Versalite rain pants. I'll put it on the screen. But I got these a couple years ago. They have definitely, they're very, very thin. And so I've like worn some like mini holes on the bum. But they're just so lightweight and they've been so great because I use rain gear a lot for bug protection. I don't use a lot of like bug spray or anything like that often. Usually if bugs are out, I'm using my rain pants, rain jacket, and bug head net. And trying to survive that way. So having something really light is awesome. I am considering adding another pair of rain pants and using these super light ones for my layering system at night. And those would just be the like REI Zero Dry rain pants. Again, not the lightest. That way, when I'm hiking and it's downpouring, those will get all wet. And then at night, I can wear these over my other warm layers, like if it's like really, really, really cold. But we'll see about that. So for now, these are the rain pants. I have this rain cover that came with an REI pack that I got a while ago. It's just some extra protection. This has some water repellency, but it's not waterproof. So in a downpour, I will put the rain cover over my pack. Next, let's talk about my sleep system. So I recently got this Sea to Summit Thermalite Reactor Compact Plus. Sleeping bag liner to add, it says it'll add like 10 degrees to my sleep system. And so I'm gonna try this out. I haven't used it yet. And so hopefully this does add 10 degrees. Okay, next is my quilt. This quilt has traveled like basically those 4,000 miles with me. I absolutely love this quilt. So this is the Enlightened Equipment Enigma, I think. I got it for the PCT in 2018 and I used it the entire hike. It's been wonderful. And it's a 20-degree quilt. So, yeah, I can do more of an in-depth review on my sleep system in another video. But for now, my quilt, Enlightened Equipment, Enigma, 20 degree. It's like 15 ounces. Ah, it's amazing. So, okay, the next part of my sleep system is my sleeping pad, which is a short Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. I used one of these on the PCT. I still have that one. It never popped on me or anything. It's still great, but they do like start to accumulate like mold on the inside when you blow them up. So I got this one last year or 2 years ago. And yeah, I feel really confident about it. I am actually going to add a full length for my size, Thermarest Z-Lite, the folding foam pad. So that way I get more of an R value from this, like at night, so that it's warmer. Yeah, it's just like a really good way to add extra warmth. So I'm gonna have that and I'll attach it to the outside of my pad. And the last part of my sleep system is my pillow, which is the Sea to Summit Eros Ultralight Regular. I used one of these on the PCT, but it did have a slow leak. So I couldn't find the hole, and so I got a new one, I think a couple years ago. So I love that. It makes such a big difference for my sleep. I don't have to worry about like balling my clothes up and stuffing them into a sack. I really like having a pillow. It's like super light, and then I usually always put a buff around it so that it acts like a pillowcase and like it keeps my face a little bit cleaner. I do kind of tend to drool when I'm backpacking, and so like I'd rather drool on my buff than like into my pillow that I can't really clean well. And then I just wash my buff every time I go into town when I wash my clothes. So that's it for the sleep system. Next, I'll talk about my cooking system. So in this little mesh bag, I have my cooking pot, which is the MSR titanium kettle. It's nice and pretty big. Like I have my stove in here and my gas and a little lighter. So my stove is the BRS teeny tiny stove. It's so small, it weighs like 3 ounces or something, and I really like it. And I don't know if it's just a defect with mine, but every time I screw this on, it does like release kind of like, I get a little bit of gas on my fingers, like even when I try to spin it really fast. So I've had this since the PCT and it's lasted. I've never had any issues besides that. So I don't know if it's like all BRS stoves are like that or if it's just my stove that's like that. And I actually do usually keep my little lighter in here with it. So I will be starting out with this stove and cooking system, but as it warms up, I will go stoveless again. I was stoveless for the majority of the Pacific Crest Trail, and it's just like a really good flow for me because I like having, it just feels so much easier to focus on walking and making it far without having to cook. I was cooking 3 meals a day on my section hike of the CDT last year, and it was kind of miserable. Like I was able to eat healthier, but it was just like so extra and it took so much extra time. I would rather just get right onto the trail and eat while I'm walking, or just be able to like pull out a snack and eat it and get all my calories that way. So I do want to get rid of this, but in the beginning I'm going to start with it so that way I make sure I can have more safety precautions in the cold weather. Okay, so next is my electronic system. In my electronics bag, sometimes I keep my headlamp. So my headlamp is, I think it's like Nightcore. It's very, very light. There's not a whole lot going on. It's become pretty popular in the last couple years. And I think it will do well. I am planning on doing a bit more night hiking this year. So I might go back to, I have a Petzl, but that one just feels like really bright, really reliable. I've used it before. So if I end up doing a lot of night hiking and I don't feel like this is measuring up to the amount that I want to do, I will switch my headlamp. So because I do these vlogs, my leg is like, ugh. I need to adjust. Okay, so because I do these vlogs, I am taking so many video clips and pictures, and I love having the security of knowing my phone's not gonna die while I'm out in the woods. So I usually carry 2 battery banks. This one is 1,000 milliamp. I think it's RAV Power. Yeah, they're both RAV Power. I've had a lot of, like, I really like the brand. This one traveled the entire PCT with me and it's been with me forever. And so it's really good, 1,000 milliamps. And then this one I think is like 16 milliamp hours, but it's really neat because it has a digital display. And so it'll tell me how much it, what percent of battery I use. And this one has like, you can tell how much battery is left by dots. Pretty similar, but so combined I have like 26,000 milliamp hours, and I feel like this is probably like a solid like 5 full charges on my phone. I don't think I'm gonna need that since I'll be in town so often on the Appalachian Trail. So maybe I'll get to send this one home or this one, because this is like pretty heavy. Okay, so for my wall outlet, I just have this iHome wall outlet. I like it because the this part flips up and down, and so it makes it like a flat rectangle, and then it has 4 ports. So I only need 1 plug to plug in 4 different items. And so I use that, and then I have a bunch of the cords, 4 different cords for that. So that way I can charge like my phone, my headlamp, and both of these battery banks all at the same time. And then I also have a spare set of wired headphones. I am gonna bring my cordless headphones as well. Those are in my fanny pack, but if those die while I'm out there, or if I decide like it's too much effort to keep those charged and they just keep dying, then I will just switch to the corded headphones. And I just keep them all snug in this very beat up Ziploc bag. Okay. So next is a mystery bag. It's only a mystery bag because I have 2 of them. One is, let's see. Okay, one is my first aid kit. So why keep the first aid kit in this bag? Because I also have an extra lighter and a hair tie, and like this bag is for a few other miscellaneous things. Like I bring these like toe spacers and a cork massage ball. I'm not sure where those are right now, so I need to find them before I leave for trail. But they help like alleviate foot pain and like foot pain prevention. So I usually keep those in this little baggie. It's actually a hip belt for a Z-Packs backpack, but I found that it's like a really nice light baggie. So, and then in my first aid kit is just a few things. KT tape, which I also use for blister tape. it doesn't last as long as Leukotape, like on your foot. But Leukotape gets stuck together and it's really hard to use once you're out in the field for a while, like out on trail for a while. But this is so nice. Like if you feel like you are prone to a blister in a specific area, put KT tape over that area every day. That's like I just don't like getting blisters, so I will do all the prevention that is like possible. Okay, and so then like the rest of this stuff is like pretty simple, like some Z-Packs repair tape, allergy pills, a few Band-Aids, water purifying tabs, biofreeze, alcohol pads. Like it's pretty random. Oh, I have another washer ring. So, and like some hair ties and it's like a few miscellaneous things, like not a whole lot, but just in case I have, just in case I need these things, they are in here, and it's not too much and it's not too little, I think. So it's in this little, actually this is my pillow bag, but I never use it. So this is now my first aid bag. Okay, so next is the second mystery bag. Actually, this one is my potty pack is what I call it. So basically I have a trowel, which is the Deuces Fades, and then a pack of tissue and an extra Ziploc bag in here, so that way when I use any tissues, I can pack them out and not have to bury them. So I always try to do that, and it's really not that big of a deal. It's so much better than burying it. I have hand sanitizer, a little bit more tissues just in case, and then like I use these little OB tampons out there, and I always have those on hand because it is terrible to get your period unexpectedly on trail and not have a tampon or not have something to capture things with. So that's my potty pack, everything I kind of need to go to the bathroom. Okay, so another thing is my little rock sack, like bear hanging kit. I honestly am not really planning to hang my food unless it's required by the land management area that I'm in. But I have Z-Packs, it's like a Z-Packs bear hanging kit. Hopefully something that gets sent home. But probably not. I'll probably carry this just in case I go through an area where it's required and there's not a pole or a box or something. Okay, so next is my clothes bag. I have 2 pairs of socks that were outside my clothes bag, but so the very last thing in this bag is my clothes. This bag is massive because since I'm starting in February, I really don't know what my body's gonna need to feel comfortable in the cold, in the wet, in the snow, and all the different possibilities out there. I wanna make sure that I'm prepared, like overly prepared to be safe. So I really like hiking in the enjoye toe socks. They are great blister prevention. The only downside is that they do wear holes in them faster than the darn Tufts. So I usually bring about 3 pairs of socks, and 1 pair will be my sleeping pair. So like 1 pair I will sleep in, and then I'll just rotate through 2 pairs, and then on the last day into town, I will wear my sleeping pair into town. Sometimes it's like 4 pairs. So I have those 2 pairs of socks. I'm also going to bring some waterproof socks, just as extra cold prevention. I wore these on the CDT when I was going through the San Juans. Like I didn't go all the way through the San Juans, but like I did the first 50 miles before I took a lower route because it was like way too much snow for me. But these kept my feet so warm, like not warm, but like way less cold walking through icy rivers. So I feel like this paired with my ultras is going to keep my feet like plenty warm. This is a pair of sleep socks that I was kind of talking about. Sometimes I bring like the long, cushy, thicker ones. So that's usually the combo. One more buff. This will be for my hair, for my neck. I have some pretty warm gloves. These are serious. Okay, so next I have an ultralight, like super ultralight rain jacket. So it's kind of like a rain and wind jacket. It's for running. It's like 2 or 3 ounces. I really like it. It actually does keep me really dry because it dries so fast. I don't actually think it would hold up very well in a complete downpour that lasts for like hours. But I'm bringing this actually as my outermost layer while I'm sleeping. So let's see. I'm bringing that. I am actually also bringing my down jacket because it is like, it's really light. I think it only weighs like 9 ounces, maybe 6 ounces. It's a Montbell down hoodie, and I used it the entire Pacific Crest Trail. This is like my go-to puffy because it's light and it packs down really small. But I thought I would bring it specifically for sleeping to make sure I'm warm enough. Before I talk about this, okay, so, nope, before I talk about those. Okay, so my inmost base layer is just a long black sleeve, Climate Right long sleeve shirt. I got this, I think maybe at Walmart, and I used it. This has lasted me for 4,000 miles. Like, I've taken this on every backpacking trip. I just sleep in it, so of course it lasts, but I really like it. It feels really nice and cozy. I sleep in it every night. I don't sleep in my trail shirt, so it will go this black shirt, then my down jacket, and then my rain jacket. And my beanie, actually my beanie, I don't have my beanie here right now, but my beanie will also be part of the sleep clothes comfort system. And then for my bottoms, it will go these super light Patagonia, I think they're Capilene leggings. Oh, they're pretty thin. So I'm also going to pair them with these REI Polar Tech fleece pants. I really like to hike in the snow in these. They keep my legs really warm. So that is an option. Like, if I'm not warm enough while I'm hiking, I can put these on, but I am hoping to be able to put them on at night and sleep with them. So I don't want them to get wet or sweaty or anything like that. I want to keep them nice, so that way they can be part of staying warm at night. So that is like way more, like this amount of clothes just for sleeping is way more than I've ever brought. But like I said, I'm starting in February and I just want to make sure that I'm warm enough. Okay, so that was everything inside this pack. Like I said before, I might be switching to one with a hip belt. That one is the Z-Packs Arc Scout, which is basically like the Z-Packs Arc Blast, but it's just a little bit shorter. So lastly, I just want to talk about the clothes I will be wearing. I've been hiking Ultra Lone Peaks exclusively since like 1,500 miles into the PCT, and I really like them. They feel really good, but I do add the Superfeet insoles. So these ones are the Trailblazers, and this insert has made such a big difference in my foot pain. So I'll make another video talking all about my shoe experience and like how to find the right shoes. But I'm going to bring these. I actually might bring the high tops. I have a pair of boots that I was hiking in Colorado. So I think I'm gonna start in those. And those are like waterproof, the waterproof Lone Peak 6 high top hikers is what I'm gonna start in. And then pretty quickly they'll switch to these. And Darn Tough socks. And then I'm going to try gaiters for the first time. These ones are Outdoor Research. I really like the brand Outdoor Research. Their stuff tends to last forever, and just like everything that I have of theirs I really like. So I thought I would try these instead of going with like the ultras. Plus I like the yellow, so that was cool. Kind of goes with my hat. Oh yeah, I'm wearing this hat. I will be taking this hat on trail. I like the relaxed fit of it, and I like that it will like guard from rain. Another Outdoor Research thing that I like, and actually that I love, this is like one of my favorite new finds, new-ish. I hiked, I got this for the CDT in 2021. So this is the Outdoor Research Astroman Sun hoodie. And I had to get on a wait list to get it. And I don't even know if, I haven't looked into see if they still make them or if they've like updated the version of it or whatever, but it's so comfortable. The material is so breathable, but it keeps you warm and it protects you from the sun, and I love the zipper. So I'll be wearing this, and then lastly, I'm going to wear leggings. I might switch to shorts if it gets like way too uncomfortably hot in the leggings, but I tend to always hike in leggings because I just feel like my legs are so much more protected, like from the sun, from the cold, from being scratched up. Like it's inevitable that you have to climb through bushes or over logs or something that will scratch up your legs, and I don't like being scratched at all. So I really like wearing leggings. Yeah, and these ones are like a really nice material. I've used the leggings that are kind of like more super buttery and soft, and like those are very comfortable, but the ones that feel a little bit more like athletic, I prefer on trail, because then they're a little bit better at sweat wicking and sweat management. So these ones are from REI, and yes, I wore them on the CDT the past 2 years, and I've really liked them. And lastly is my fanny pack. So I love my fanny pack. I had a JanSport one that was bright pink on the PCT, and I wore it, I got it in Big Bear City, but it just got so unredeemably dirty that I thought I might just like get a black one so that way I don't look so dirty at the start of a new trail. So yeah, I got this one I think for the CDT, or maybe just this past year, but I don't know how much this little pouch weighs actually, and there are much lighter options, but I do like that it has structure to it, and I like that the zipper is on the top instead of on the front. Well, there is a zipper, this is a separate pocket. But I really like that the zipper's on the top, because like it's so easy to just set my phone in there or set snacks in there without having to like close it. I can just keep it open the whole time, and I absolutely love it. I usually keep my glasses and my sunglasses, so taking these sunglasses, I wish that they were prescription, but they're not. I have my glasses. So both of these will live in this little pouch. I don't absolutely need to wear my glasses, so like right now I don't have any contacts in and I can see fine, but it's just mostly for like driving and seeing far away. So I have tried contacts on trail. They're a really big hassle for me. I do want to figure out how to make my glasses stay up on my nose when I'm sweating and looking down. I think I can maybe find some like little stickers online or something to help that, because right now they like slide down my face and they are really annoying. But I'm going to stick with them for now and try to find a solution to that. Also, always carry chapstick, my wallet, which like I have like a tiny little lightweight wallet, or I use a Ziploc bag, and my headphones, like I was talking about earlier, more hand sanitizer, and I'll keep like a bunch of snacks in here. So I put like half my snacks for the day, and then at lunch I refill for the second half of the snacks. The other really cool thing I like about the fanny pack is that this front pocket is exclusively for trash and for a bag of tissues. So anytime I have to go pee, I use tissues, and then I put the used tissues in a Ziploc bag, and I put that Ziploc bag in here. So I never have to worry about a pee rag and cleaning that. Like, I don't like having something that smells like pee on me. And if I don't use any tissues and I just like air dry, you tend to just get pee on your underwear. And so like the best thing that I've found is just to use a tissue and then put it in a Ziploc bag and like put it, and then like I just like always have that. So I'm always ready to go pee without my pack and without having to dig through my pack or anything. So that's like really, really nice. And obviously the hand sanitizer to go with that whole process. That usually actually stays in there too. Yeah, so that's all the gear I'm taking at this point for my Appalachian Trail 2023 through hike. I am really excited to dial it in a little bit more, especially after I have a little bit more time in the cold. So after the first couple weeks and I feel what it feels like to get down to, you know, like 15 degrees, 10 degrees, 0 degrees, like Fahrenheit, like it could get really cold. I will have a better understanding of what I need out there and hopefully be able to send some of my clothes back and just like really dial in my gear to be like really, really light. I like trying to be ultralight purely for the fact that it makes it easier on my legs and my knees and my feet to go to make miles. I have hiked so many miles and gone on so many trips with like a 5-pound tent, 3-pound pack, and you know, a 2-pound water filter, and it's just like so much more challenging. So I really like that, like I've been able to accumulate some gear pieces that I really love, that are really light, and done a ton of research into things that like really work for me. I think specifically my pack being light, my quilt or sleeping bag being light, and then also my tent being light makes like a really, really big difference. So I hope that this video is informative. I hope that you got some ideas on like what you could bring on your through hike this year. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I want to do more in-depth videos into my gear. If you have more questions, I can do more reviews on things. But for now, thanks so much for watching. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.